get a picture of the train, the engine? It's right there. They're getting about there.
Oh.
Now, back in 1928, they would have used bunker oil for fuel, like a ship. Today, we use recycled motor oil from whatever you drive. We use about 200 gallons of oil for 20 miles, 2,000 gallons of water. And the engine itself weighs about 222,000 pounds. So this big engine is very capable of pulling the 7 cars that we have on the train today. Now, coal and wood, they're readily available right here. But coal and wood were outlawed in the Black Hills clear back in the 1930s. Starts fires. So it was outlawed in the 30s by the Forest Service. So we're using steam, we're burning oil. A lot of recycled motor oil. And they always ring the bell on the engine when it's moving in the train yards. I know the locomotive's moving. And the next noise you're going to hear is shh. It's the air being put to the brakes. Good thing to have. Brakes. We leave station here and go up 10 Mill Hill. It's a mile-long hill. 4.26% grade. Very steep for standard gauge rail. There's the brakes. But then it's down.
As the train pulls out of station, look around at the granite peaks and thick ponderosa pine forests surrounding you. An army expedition led by George Custer turned up gold a few miles south of here in 1874. Within months, there were thousands of miners, mule skinners, madams, gunslingers, and gamblers swarming across the landscape, eager to get their hands on some of the shiny yellow metal. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy your ride aboard the 1880 train. With us, you do not need to worry about anything else. Let us do the driving. This is the best attraction to spend time with family and friends while enjoying the Black Hills, just like the early pioneers, miners, and settlers did when they discovered the West.
Yeah, there you go.
Now that's the first road crossing. We get to cross the road 20 times one way in our ride, so there's 19 more of those crossings with that whistle, if you want to count. The whistle is 2 longs, a short, and a long. As we do go over this driveway, yes, this is steep.
Out of the 1880 train takes us by a variety of trees. Off to your right are aspen and birch trees. The Black Hills also have the Black Hills spruce and ponderosa pine.
We'll be leaving again in 15 minutes. Okay to get up. Thank you. And Joe, our conductor, is hanging on the back, or front, hanging on the front to the back. Do you notice which way the engine is traveling? Yes, it's backwards. As you go along here on the right-hand side, you see those tall granite cliffs. After you've been up and seen those nice carved faces of George, Tom, Ted, and Abe, well, this is how they look first.
Hill City was one of the first communities established in the Black Hills. Though gold was the big draw at first, a number of different metals have been mined in Hill City since then, including silver, tin, and lithium, a light element now used in nuclear reactions. Mining was eventually replaced by tourism and the timber industry, which employs many of the town's residents. Make sure you take time to walk the streets of this charming little Black Hills town.
Do the last 3 quarters. Get it open.
Thank you.
It's it's a little train button, and this is from the Busy Beaver button. It's a tongue twister. So we just got back to our hotel. Today we went to the 1880 train. It was $120 for the 4 of us round trip. It starts in Hill City and it ends up in Keystone and then it comes back. It was an hour-long trip. That trip from Hill City to Keystone is actually 1 hour. So we took the last train of the day and that was at 1 o'clock. The train starts boarding at 1 and you sit on the train for about 15 minutes while they test the brakes and they do everything they need to do. Once they realize that everyone's on there, then that's when you start to leave. It leaves at about 1:15 and you get to Keystone about 2:15, so it takes an hour. Then the train leaves again to go back to Hill City at 2:30, so you're only in the station for about 15 minutes. It's not enough time for you to look around town, but it's enough time for you to make a brief stop at the restroom or their gift shop. The train only goes about 10 miles per hour, and that sounds really slow, but it actually makes it more enjoyable because you have plenty of time to see the scenery and you can spot some animals like deer, woodchucks, and wild turkey, among other things. The people on the train were very sweet and friendly and very informative. They give you a brief history lesson while you're on the train. Oh, also, the gift shop is really nice. They have a lot of postcards and shirts and all your typical things that you would find at a gift shop in like a touristy area that represent your trip and being on the train. It was overall a very nice and enjoyable experience. Yeah, if you're ever in the area, I highly recommend that place.